and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kat. I make videos about books, writing, and every other random thing that's living rent-free in my neurodivergent brain. Today I wanted to talk about the lessons and the things I've learned from making my first 10 videos on YouTube. I started my channel back in January, I think, and a bit on a random day just decided to go for it. It's been something I had been thinking about for a while but was really scared to do, and then just out of the blue decided to go for it. I think around the third video I made, I decided that I was gonna commit to making 10 videos on YouTube, and after that, if I don't like it, if literally no one is watching it, or if people really dislike what I make, then I'm allowed to quit, but not before I make 10 videos. I have now published my 10th video on YouTube, and I'm happy to report that I don't have any intention to stop, at least not right now. I have more videos in the pipeline and more videos that I want to make. I'm just having a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm just gonna stick around a little longer and see how things go. So I've made those 10 videos, but what did I learn from them? Lesson 1, it gets easier. Basically, when I posted the first video I ever made, which was the newbie booktube tag, I was really nervous. It felt really daunting to put myself out there in this way. I'm not exactly sure why or what I was expected to go wrong, but I was really nervous about it. After that video, it immediately got easier. Literally from video number 2, it felt much easier and much less scary to be posting, to the point that now I'm just really excited to be posting content on my channel and see what the reaction will be, interacting with other people. It's just a lot of fun and I do really enjoy it, so it's also why I want to continue. The second thing is just how much time and effort it takes to put video on YouTube. I was not really conscious of it when I was just watching, and I think I was taking a lot of YouTube creators for granted and not understanding how much work they put in it. Sometimes a YouTuber that I watch regularly would say, oh, it took me 40 hours of work to do that video, and I would have a hard time understanding how so much work could go into it, what does take so long? Well, pretty much everything takes longer than you think. Filming takes me longer than I expect. Editing just takes forever, and then uploading as well. You have to wait, especially the longer the video is, the longer you have to wait for it to be up on the website. You spend also a lot of time thinking around your videos, what you want to say, what you want to talk about, things like that. It's not necessarily literal hours of work that you put in, but it's something that stays on your mind outside of the time you actively work on YouTube. Now, knowing how much work goes into a single video, I'm much more appreciative of the ones I watch and the YouTubers that I follow and I enjoy. So I'm more active as well in supporting them, so liking their videos or commenting, which I was not doing before. I was really not the kind of person to comment on YouTube for some reason. Now I try to do it a lot more just to support them because I enjoy their work and I know, again, how much of themselves and how much of their time and energy they put into it. Thinking also especially vlogs, I do enjoy watching bookish writerly vlogs a lot, and they take so much time, so much thinking around, gathering B-roll that's gonna be interesting and things like that. Just the other day watching a video from Christian Jones, and just a short scene when she's preparing tea, and there's 4 different angles and shots in just those few seconds of her making her tea, and before I would never have thought about it. Now I'm just thinking, oh, it probably took her half an hour to make her tea. So yeah, it's a lot of work. At the same time, it's also very rewarding, which is why we're doing it. Third lesson, I'm not sure how useful that's gonna be, but just how much storage you need, how much memory space you need to make videos. I film on my phone and I constantly get notification that I'm running out of storage space. Same on my computer. It's been a bit of a struggle, so I still need to be better at kind of managing the files that I have and the storage space that I have and all of that. I'm sure there's like plenty of resources on how to do that better than I'm doing now, and I just need to make the time to think about that problem a bit more. Lesson number 4, small channels are amazing. I don't know why, but before I started my own channel, I had this stupid prejudice against small channels. I was just like, well, not many people are watching them, they're probably not that interesting. And to be fair, like I've watched a few videos and I just didn't gel with the person, and so that kind of formed that stupid mindset, to be honest. Now I've discovered more channels, like new channels, small channels, mainly thanks to the booktube newbie tag. They're just as good. Like you learn from different people, you see their different perspectives. Also, smaller channels are able to test things out a bit more and take more risks. Sometimes you can see like some channels doing a lot of the same things because they know that's what is gonna work, that's what is gonna please the algorithm and stuff like that. Smaller channels, they don't have that same kind of problem. Like we are able to experiment and do things even if they're just like flopping and nobody wants to watch them. So it's one thing I've completely changed my mind about, and now I'm much more curious about smaller channel, and I'm also excited to discover someone early in their journey that I can again like support by subscribing, commenting, liking, and just seeing them grow and seeing their channel develop. Even in the few weeks, like I've seen channels start like very, very small and then like growing quite quickly, and it's exciting to see them for them and to feel like, oh, I was there from the beginning when they only had a few subscribers. There's a lot of amazing people out there doing content, and sometimes it's hard to find your own tribe or find people with the same interest. There's likely someone who you will gel with on YouTube, even if it's a very small channel. So keep your mind open and watch those videos with like few views, and maybe you can be one of those people helping them grow. Also just the fact like even the big channels today had to start somewhere, and they had very little subscribers at some point and then they grew over time. So again, that was like a very not useful and not helpful mindset that I have, and I'm glad I changed my mind about it. I think this is number 5. So one thing I've learned is to be more comfortable in front of the camera and speaking to an audience. I think that's a very useful skill to have. Obviously, it's still a bit of a challenge. I'm still quite early in the journey, and I know that I have a lot to learn and a lot of room for improvement and growth. But again, like looking back on my first video, it feels so much easier now and I feel much more comfortable. So I'm looking forward to being even more in the future, and thank you for bearing with me while I'll improve on that front. Number 6 is just basic editing skills. I had no idea how to edit a video before, and now I'm having fun learning this new skill. Even the first video I put out, like I was just thinking, okay, I'm gonna do one shot, no music, no editing, nothing, just like putting the raw thing out. And in the end, I ended up spending quite a bit of time editing it, adding some music, making it nicer, and it was really rewarding and really exciting to be learning again this new skill set. And every time I learn to do something new, I get quite excited. The thing is, like, you don't need to learn super fancy editing skills. Like, I remember a recent video from Kelly from Books I Not Reading. She said like she can't even put music on her video. Kelly, it's not that complicated, I can show you. But like, you don't need that. Like, her channel is doing well without her putting music on her videos. And even bigger channels, like there is at least one that I can think of that's like a big channel that still has that very DIY feeling. Like, it's not very advanced in terms of editing, and still like lots of people want to watch those videos and are enjoying like the content, even if the technicality is not super advanced and super fancy. And I think that's a really, really cool thing with YouTube. It's just like you can make videos for like very cheap. You don't need to invest in a lot of equipment. The only thing I have is like a kind of small hand tripod, and I'm filming on my phone. I don't own a mic, I don't own a ring light or anything like that. I'm using iMovie for free on my laptop. So maybe that can be lesson number 7. Like, you don't need to spend much money, if any, to make YouTube videos. You don't need to learn the fancy skills, and I'm not saying that I have fancy skills at all, but just learning to do those more complex things, I just find it rewarding for myself. So number 8, I think. I'm probably completely miscounting, but that's fine. That's what the editing will be for. So number 8, my motivation to film will fluctuate. Basically, the day I'm filming this, I haven't been compelled to pick up the camera for, I think, 2 weeks. And thankfully, before that, I had a period when I was excited to film and I had some content in advance that I'm now kind of editing through and publishing. But yeah, just knowing that I have fluctuating levels of energy and motivation, and so just being aware of that, that's also one of the perks of being like a small channel and not having any intention to monetize or make a living from my channel. It's just like, if there is a week I really don't have the energy to make a video, I don't feel like it, then I can skip it. It's not the end of the world. Ideally, I want to be publishing consistently because I just enjoy posting. But yeah, there are times when I'm not feeling like filming, and it's okay. And I just need to be aware of it and organize my time accordingly. Filming does take quite a bit of energy. Like, you need to project your voice, show a little bit of energy and enthusiasm for what you're talking about, all of that. I'm a very introverted person, so that doesn't come fully naturally to me. So it's just energy management and planning, knowing that there will be times when I don't feel like filming, and it's okay. Number 9, I honestly have no idea which videos are gonna work or not. And in a way, that's kind of freeing because that means I can do whatever I want. I've had some surprises. My most viewed videos currently is the I'm So Annoyed book tag, again from Kelly from the Books I'm Not Reading channel. And I almost didn't make that video because for some reason I thought nobody would be interested in watching it. And again, now it's my most viewed video on my channel. Granted, I don't have that many views at this point, but still, like, it would have been such a shame not to make that video just because I thought it was not gonna work, because I had a lot of fun making it. And for me, that's kind of the main goal currently. On the flip side, I also had a video that I care a lot about that barely has any views, and I don't regret making it because, again, it was something I wanted to talk about. So maybe it will later found its audience, and if it doesn't, that's okay. Overall, it looks like I'm terrible at predicting which videos are gonna work or not on my channel, and that's fine. I guess it's probably something that you learn once you've been doing it for a longer time. At the same time, I kind of like that I can't predict at all what's gonna work or not, because it's just, again, very freeing. It means that I can do whatever video I want, and I'm just focusing on having fun and talking about things I want to talk about, not worrying about views and subscribers and things like that. And then number 10, just appreciate every single person who watches, likes, or subscribes to your channel. I can imagine that when you grow your channel to thousands and thousands of subscribers, it gets really hard to keep that feeling. Maybe I'm wrong, but that would be the impression. It's just like, if you have 500,000 subscribers, like, how can you feel as connected to them on an individual level? I don't think the human brain is capable of that. And the thing is, again, going back to small channels, I remember watching a video recently where the YouTuber, who's like a very successful YouTuber with like hundreds of thousands of followers, and she was mentioning how when she started, no one was watching her channel. And she said no one, literally. And I'm a bit doubtful of that. Like, was there really 0 person watching your channel? Did you even talk about it to your boyfriend or something? Unless she literally had 0 views, which I'm a bit doubtful about, but I might be wrong. Then it feels very dismissive of those few people who are watching her channel. And that kind of pissed me off a little bit. Because again, for me, every person who watches my video, comments on my channel, likes, they're like a real person, and I'm so grateful for the time they spent watching my video. I know that in the grand scheme of things, like having 30 or 50 or even 100 subscribers can feel like nothing or very little, and I think it's not a great mindset to have, because basically if you were in a room speaking to those people directly, like if they were physically in front of you, that would not feel like a small audience for most people. Most people are terrified of public speaking, so even speaking in front of 30 people would be nerve-wracking. I don't say it should be nerve-wracking making videos, I really don't want you to take that message out, but just meaning that Even if you only have 30 subscribers, that's still a lot of people. That's still like real people who spend their time listening to what you have to say, and it's amazing. It's just incredible. Like, that's the size of a classroom. If you have 50 people following you, you have a bigger audience than a teacher teaching like in a real classroom. Beyond that, I think you also get the opportunity to create a real relationship with those people. I wish people were more vocal on my channel. Like, when someone subscribed to my channel, like, very few people actually have their settings set up in a way that allows me to know who this person is. And I wish I knew. Like, I want to know who those people are. I'm grateful to each and every one of them. Even in the scale of YouTube, I have a tiny channel. I'm still so incredibly amazed that that number of people are subscribed to my channel and that many people are watching the videos that I make and want to listen to what I have to say. I think that's one of the reasons why it feels so easy for me to keep going with YouTube, even though I would consider like a tiny channel. Again, it's just because I feel like even 50 people is a lot. Again, it's larger than most classrooms and I would be terrified to be speaking to that many people in real life, and I get the opportunity to do so thanks to YouTube. I just think it's incredible. That's all I've learned so far. 10 lessons from 10 videos on YouTube. I hope that was interesting, that maybe you learned something as well. And as always, thanks so much for watching. You want to know one thing I haven't learned though? Is to make sure I have a picture for a thumbnail, because now I'm editing this video and I'm gonna struggle. So yeah, still a long way to go.